Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 282 based on novel. So let's start. Moving like water, Wang Lin's hand formed a fist and he casually threw a punch. An unimaginable black storm formed. One of the divine senses that formed the divine sense dragon was touched by Wang Lin's punch. That divine sense collapsed before it could even resist. The moment the divine sense dissipated, in the magnificent building of Ghost Eye City, a middle-aged man in purple was in the second room from the east drinking tea. He suddenly smashed the teacup and the tea evaporated. The middle-aged man turned pale and he coughed out blood, then a ghast filled his eyes. The rate of his heart pounding accelerated and he exclaimed, "Could it be Nirvana Cleanser?" His expression changed before he finally clenched his teeth and disappeared from the room. As Wang Lin floated in air, his divine sense returned to his body. He coldly looked at last divine sense. The owner of that divine sense was Master Yi Chen. Everything happened too fast, and it was over in a flash. The last divine sense quickly retreated. With an indifferent expression, Wang Lin's hand reached out. The last divine sense seemed to be squeezed by the world and was pulled toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin grabbed it and directly crushed it. In the first room from the east in that magnificent building, there was a white-haired old man. He was standing behind the table with a brush in his hand and was writing vigorously on the paper on the table. Doing multiple things at once was too easy for cultivators like them. However, at this moment, the brush in his hand broke and he suddenly looked up. His face turned pale and blood rushed up his throat, but he forcibly suppressed it. Not good. The old man cursed in his heart and waved his sleeves as he charged out at an extremely fast speed. A wave was set off in Ghost Eye City as the collapse of the restriction caught the attention of all the cultivators. They all had varying cultivation levels, and they looked up at the sky. Wang Lin's expression was calm. He had already been very tolerant. If the three of them had released his divine sense, this would not have happened. 3 rays of bright light flew out from the city and arrived before Wang Lin. The 3 rays of light revealed themselves to be the 3 Chen brothers. The old man with white hair was Master Yi Chen. Behind him was the green-robed old man and the purple-robed middle-aged man. The 3 of them had bitter expressions. They didn't understand how this person had easily destroyed their divine senses in person when his divine sense was clearly at the early stage of Nirvana Scrya. If he merely destroyed their divine senses, they wouldn't be so scared, as they simply could have worked together. However, what terrified them was how easily Wang Lin had done it. 1 grasp, 1 punch, 1 squeeze. All very simple and all random actions. The 3 of them could feel that he hadn't even put any effort into it, and that was the root of their terror. No Nirvana Scrya cultivator could do this, not even peak late-stage Nirvana Scrya cultivator can do this, because there were, after all, 3 of them. There was only one explanation for what had happened: this person was a Nirvana Cleanser cultivator. Please forgive us, fellow cultivator Wang Lin. This matter was our fault, Master Yi Chen bitterly smiled. The 3 of them stood before Wang Lin rather embarrassedly. The 3 of them were all famous on planet Qianyun, and now that they had provoked someone they shouldn't have. Although their hearts felt bitter, they didn't feel dissatisfaction. After all, since the other party was a Nirvana Cleanser cultivator, forget a courteous sweep of divine sense, even if he arrogantly swept by, it would be understandable. If they knew his cultivation level beforehand, they wouldn't have dared to stop him. After all, no one would dare to question a Nirvana Cleanser cultivator that had come to Ghost Eye City. Even if that person didn't have an invitation, they would be treated as an honored guest. In planet Qianyun and all the surrounding planets, Nirvana Cleanser cultivators are extremely rare. Any one of them are people who can make a cultivation planet tremble with a stomp of their feet. I haven't heard of anyone named Wang Lin. He said that he was from the Heavenly Fate sect. Could it be? Could he be from an older generation of the All-Seer's disciples? The 3 of them all looked at each other with doubt in their eyes. However, the power Wang Lin showed off was indeed worthy of a Nirvana Cleanser cultivator. The green-robed old man felt rather embarrassed and said, "Please don't blame us, fellow cultivator Wang. The three of us are in charge of this city, so we may have offended you. Please forget us, forgive us. The middle-aged man also let out a wry smile and thought, the reputation of the three Chen brothers didn't really fall. After all, who would dare provoke a Nirvana cleanser cultivator? All three of them had sincere expressions and repeatedly admitted their mistake. Wang Lin's expression relaxed and he calmly said, "It was also I who made the mistake first, so let's just forget this matter." The three of them let out sighs of relief. If Wang Lin wouldn't let this go, they could only try to escape. Provoking a Nirvana cleanser cultivator was like being branded for death. Master Yi Chen politely said, "Fellow cultivator Wang must have came to Ghost Eye City for that bottle of liquid purple jade. However, there are still several days before the auction. Does fellow cultivator have a place to stay? If not, the three of us can arrange a place for you." The purple-robed middle-aged man and the green-robed old man both looked at Wang Lin with inviting gazes. No matter how arrogant the three of them were when facing a Nirvana cleanser cultivator, they didn't dare to reveal any of it. Instead, they showed the intent of getting closer. Liquid purple jade. This sounded familiar to Wang Lin. After pondering a bit, he looked at the three of them and nodded. "Then I'll be trouble you three fellow cultivators." Master Yi Chen laughed and said, "No problem. It was fate that we were able to become acquainted with fellow cultivator Wang Lin." He smiled as he gestured with his right hand to welcome Wang Lin. Wang Lin turned around and looked at the distance. At the city gate, Bai Wei was staring at him, and behind him was Shuligua. "You guys, come over." Wang Lin's voice wasn't loud, but it clearly entered Bai Wei's ears. Bai Wei hesitated a bit before flying into the air. Shuligua looked at Bai Wei's back with a memorized look and quickly followed. When the three of them saw Bai Wei, they were startled, but they didn't say anything. They went to the eastern side of the city to a gorgeous four-story building. There was a courtyard around it filled with fake mountains and rivers. The spiritual energy here was very dense. Master Yi Chen smiled. "This is where the three of us stay in the city. Fellow cultivator Wang can pick a room." Wang Lin clasped his hands and smiled. "Many thanks." Only after seeing Wang Lin's smile did the three brothers finally relax. The purple-robed middle-aged man laughed. "Brother Wang, rest first and I'll order people to prepare some fruit. Since we brothers don't know Brother Wang, the four of us have to debate Dao." Master Yi Chen nodded with a smile. The green-robed old man laughed. "Third brother is right. How we met fellow Brother Wang can be considered a legend." Wang Lin faintly smiled. There was no need to reject their warm invitation, and he was also interested in the liquid purple jade. He nodded. "If that's the case, then I'll be happy to oblige. Brother Wang is too polite." Master Yi Chen then left with the other two. Bai Wei couldn't get used to all of this. With his cultivation level, he would have never interacted with cultivators of this level, even though he was the All-Seer's disciple. Soon, servants came and arranged lodgings for the two of them. There were a lot of vacant rooms here. After Bai Wei left, Shuligua subconsciously followed, but after Wang Lin cast a cold gaze, he obediently followed Wang Lin. The room Wang Lin chose was a rather elegant room on the second floor. The purple wooden table and chair, the red wooden cabinet and the painting hanging on the wall all calmed his mind. There was an embroidered yellow lamp shade over a carved dragon lamp. When the light went through the shade, it was bright yet gentle as it scattered into every corner of the room. The room wasn't big, but Wang Lin was very satisfied. Shuligua floated in the air and looked around. His heart was filled with disdain and he wondered what was so good about this place. This fiend really didn't know how to enjoy himself. If it was up to him, he would find a place with a lot of girls. Oh, how comfortable that would be. Wang Lin quietly sat in the room with his eyes half closed. It looked like he was looking at the window, but in truth was thinking about Bai Wei's actions. What exactly is this Bai Wei looking for me for? He would not call me here for nothing. There is also that strange mark in his body, Wang Lin pondered. He had always felt like there was something Bai Wei wanted to say to him. Everything he spoke about along the way was pointless. What does he want to say to me? Wang Lin frowned as he recalled everything Bai Wei said. Then his eyes suddenly narrowed. Could it be that what Bai Wei wanted to say was contained within those pointless matters? If that's really the case, then he must be facing some difficulties that made him not dare to speak to me directly. He is certainly not afraid of me, but... Master. Wang Lin felt like he had grasped some clue, but he wasn't sure. Perhaps there are restrictions that prevent him from telling me, so he could only give hints. Wang Lin silently pondered about how Bai Wei's expression changed so drastically when he asked about Bai Wei's cultivation method. It was also at that moment that Wang Li noticed the strange mark formed by the movement of the yin energy inside Bai Wei. What exactly does Bai Wei want to say? Wang Lin pondered for a moment before he looked up at the door. A moment later, Master Yi Chen's voice came through. Brother Wang, the fruit and nectar have been prepared. Since the sky isn't dark yet, how about the four of us debate Dao? Wang Lin opened the door and saw Master Yi Chen standing outside with a smile. Fellow cultivator is too kind. Please. Wang Lin smiled. In the north of this northern courtyard, there was a pavilion. This pavilion wasn't big, but it was very beautiful. It was made of celestial jade and had a spiritual energy gathering formation to ensure a good environment. Outside the pavilion, there was a stream with the song of rushing water that could improve your mood. There were small fishes that swam in the stream and would sometimes jump out of the water, creating ripples and splashes. Inside the pavilion sat the purple-robed middle-aged man and the green-robed old man with a table between them. This table was made of white jade and was very smooth. Beside them was a very beautiful woman with big, twinkling eyes. She looked at the incoming Master Yi Chen and Wang Lin. When Wang Lin and Master Yi Chen arrived, the middle-aged man and old man stood up and smiled at Wang Lin. The middle-aged man pointed to the side and smiled. Brother Wang, please. Wang Lin looked at the pavilion and also at the stunning woman looking. This woman was also a cultivator, although her cultivation level was not very high, only nascent soul. She was very beautiful but also very innocent, which was rare in the cultivation world. Only someone who was loved by a powerful person could retain this level of innocence. That powerful person would have to keep them close by so that they weren't exposed too much to the cultivation world. This woman looked similar to Master Yi Chen. After she noticed Wang Lin looking at her, her face turned red and she lowered her head. However, she would still peek at Wang Lin from the corner of her eyes, and she was filled with curiosity. Wang Lin faintly smiled. With his cunning, he naturally saw through their intentions. Although the misunderstanding between them wasn't big, anything could happen in the cultivation world. They were afraid that Wang Lin would be on guard if the three of them invited him, and then they wouldn't be able to talk properly. So they decided to ask this woman, who was a relative, to come as an indirect way of showing they meant no malice. Otherwise, they wouldn't bring a nascent soul junior here. After everyone sat down, Master Yi Chen called the girl over. He smiled as he introduced her to Wang Lin. Brother Wang, she is a junior in my family. This child is not sensible, but she had to come. In the future, please take care of her. As he spoke, he looked at the maiden, and his expression turned serious. Lingo, this is Senior Wang, a powerful cultivator. Even this old man has to be respectful to him. For you to have an opportunity to meet him is your fortune. The girl blinked and bowed toward Wang Lin. Lingo greets Senior. This girl's voice was very pretty. It was like a songbird, and her voice seemed to be able to enter one's bones. Wang Lin carefully looked at the girl and was surprised. Fellow cultivator Wang must have noticed that this granddaughter of mine was born with a natural water spirit body. Everything aside from her voice was concealed by this old man. I have to keep her by my side, otherwise she would be targeted as a furnace by people with bad intentions. Master Yi Chen bitterly smiled. Wang Lin nodded. A water spirit body was most suitable for using a furnace. However, she shouldn't have much to worry about when she was around Master Yi Chen. Not many people would dare to steal a woman from them, as it was really not worth it to make enemy out of them just for a woman. Besides, although these three Chen brothers looked like a group of only 3 people, if they were forced into a life and death crisis, they would surely find help with their connections. At that point, they would be a powerful force. When Wang Lin heard the voice of the stunning woman, he entered a trance. Although he quickly recovered, a sense of bitterness awakened in his heart. This bitterness was very strong, like dust being kicked off sealed memories. She was also born with a water spirit body. Wang Lin let out a sigh. Some things couldn't be forgotten and some pain couldn't be sealed away. The old memories would inadvertently reappear when facing a similar scene. Every time they resurface, they would cause unhideable pain. Letting out a secret sigh, Wang Lin's gaze once more fell on the stunning girl. The girl was ill at ease and didn't dare to look at Wang Lin. Gently touching his bag of holding, Wang Lin took out the straw hat. When he looked at the straw hat, Wang Lin felt like he saw Yun Kazi. After putting the straw hat on the table, Wang Lin calmly said, "This was a gift from an old friend. It can help cover up your aura. After fellow cultivator Master Yi Chen refines it, perhaps its power will increase. I'll give it to this child as a gift." The girl's nose wrinkled. It was obvious she found the straw hat a bit ugly. Master Yi Chen looked at the straw carefully and was surprised. "Brother Wang, although this item is not a celestial treasure, it is extremely exquisite. The number of formations inside it is so large that not even I can instantly see through them all. These restrictions working together can cover up all aura. Someone who is good at restrictions can learn countless restrictions from studying this hat and increase their restriction cultivation level. Brother Wang, this gift is a bit too much." After the girl heard this, curiosity filled her eyes. Wang Lin shook his head and said, "This item is useless to me, so just gift it to this child." Master Yi Chen hesitated for a bit before nodding in thanks. Looking at the girl, Wang Lin's gaze became slightly gentle. He slapped his bag of holding and took out 3 bells. He smiled. "I'll gift you this too." Joy filled the girl's eyes and she took the bells. Hearing the crisp echoes of the bells, she immediately laughed in joy. The more she looked at them, the more she liked them. She then turned toward Wang Lin and said, "Ling thanks Senior." This voice was even more alluring than before, but it had no effect on Wang Lin. When Master Yi Chen saw the bells, with his insight, he naturally saw that they weren't ordinary. He let out a sigh as he got up and clasped his hands at Wang Lin. "Fellow cultivator Wang, this old man thanks you." He felt very ashamed. It was originally the 3 of them at fault, but now his junior had received great gifts from the other party. After sitting down, he pondered a bit and then took out a piece of black stone and said, "Fellow cultivator Wang, please accept this dark heaven stone. When cultivators reach our level, we need dark heaven stones to store divine sense to create an avatar or store power spells to use. If you don't accept, this old man will be ashamed." Wang Lin smiled as he picked up the stone and his divine sense swept past it. Although his expression was neutral, his heart was moved. This black stone was very strange and had many small holes emitting a suction force. Not only could it store and preserve divine sense, it also allowed one to store a spell in advance. It was similar to the chosen immortal clan's talismans. In addition, one could create an illusory avatar with but a thought. It was a very practical treasure. Although this treasure wasn't something extremely precious, it was still rare. Wang Lin nodded and put it inside his bag. "This old man is muddled and hasn't introduced my 2 younger brothers. This old man is my second brother, Liu Yulong. His nickname is Master Yi Long." Master Yi Chen pointed at the green-robed old man. The green-robed old man stood up, clasped his hands at Wang Lin, and laughed. "The name Master Yi Long is nothing before Brother Wang. Brother Wang can just call me by my name. This is my 3rd brother, Zhen Xinghan, nicknamed Master Yi Xing." The purple-robed middle-aged man had the lowest cultivation level. Although he was at the early stage of Nirvana Scryer, he was obviously weaker than Master Yi Long. He stood up and respectfully clasped his hands. "Brother Wang can just call me by my name. I wonder what Brother Wang's nickname is." After Master Yi Chen finished introducing them, he looked at Wang Lin. In the cultivation world, although there were nicknames among the lower-level cultivators, none of them become famous or spread much. It couldn't compare to the nicknames of truly powerful cultivators, and the significance was very different. When one became a second-step cultivator, a nickname was often a mutual recognition and a condensed version of their life. Even until today, Wang Lin didn't really have a nickname. If he really did, then it would be the one he got in All Heaven from his slaughter, Master Demon. After pondering a bit, Wang Lin slowly said, "My nickname is Master Demon." After he spoke, Master Yi Chen and his brothers immediately felt a bloody killing intent coming from the bottom of their hearts. It was as if Wang Lin had turned into an primal beast filled with monstrous killing intent. "I have just returned and haven't stayed long on planet Qianyun, so the three of you must not have heard of me." Wang Lin picked up the cup and drank a mouthful. With his ancient god body, almost no poison could harm him besides some very ancient and rare poison from ancient times. After scanning it with his divine sense, Wang Lin was certain it was safe. After putting down the wine cup, the stunning girl next to Master Yi Chen immediately picked up the wine jug and poured another cup for Wang Lin. Then she returned back next to Master Yi Chen, and her beautiful eyes would occasionally look at Wang Lin. Master Yi Chen and his brothers returned to normal and began chatting with Wang Lin. As they chatted, they began debating Dao. Time slowly passed. As the four talked, the moon was soon high up in the sky and they became familiar with each other. The wind blew by as Master Yi Chen picked up his wine cup for a drink and sighed. The path of Tao sets us apart from the mortals of the world. One must adapt to isolate oneself from everything in order to complete the heaven's grand Tao. Unfortunately, although this old man can cut off everything, the word family is something I can't cut away. Why do you need to cut it off? Cultivators dare to even defy the heavens, so why listen to this fleeting thought? I heard there are areas that focus on family cultivation. This would naturally mean that these cultivators have families. There are still powerful cultivators that broke out among them, so everything is just a mindset. Master Yi Chen seemed to have gained a little enlightenment. He held the wine cup and didn't put it down for a long time. Is Brother Wang talking about the all-heaven star system when talking about cultivation families? Master Yi Chen revealed a look of interest. After Wang Lin nodded, Master Yi Chen continued, "Speaking of the all-heaven star system, they really are different. It is astonishing for them to have developed so far by focusing on cultivation families. If it wasn't for the Cultivation Alliance telling me this, I wouldn't believe it. All heathens battle against the Alliance in the north caused the Alliance to retreat. Their power can't be underestimated." As he spoke, bursts of thunder came from the night sky and the clouds gradually gathered to cover the stars. Humidity filled the area and then a bolt of lightning that illuminated the night struck down. At the same time, large drops of rain poured down, creating loud splashing sounds. There was a thin layer of mist rising up from the ground. The stunning woman named Ling exclaimed and quickly came to the edge of the pavilion to look outside. Master Yi Chen's enlightenment was interrupted. He was startled before shaking his head. Planet Qianyun's weather has been very strange in the recent months. A moment ago it was a bright night sky, yet the next moment dark clouds cover the sky and there is heavy rain. The middle-aged man named Master Yixing nodded and said, "Yes, it is like an eccentric cultivator whose personality keeps changing and is impossible to see through." When what they said landed in Wang Lin's ears, it caused him to tremble. He suddenly looked up at the sky outside the pavilion with the wine cup in his hand. It was as if he was struck by lightning. Originally, he was confused by the matter with Bai Wei, but now it was as if a pair of invisible hands had opened up a path. It's like a person's personality, it is strange and constantly changing. Impossible to see through. Earlier, Bai Wei said that the weather on planet Qianyun will change in a few months. The abrupt changes between cloudy and sunny are a unique sight to planet Qianyun. Although this sounds ordinary, it is actually profound. The constant changes in weather on planet Qianyun are actually referring to Master's personality constantly changing. It was the same as the speculation I had about him constantly changing between his avatars. Wang Lin's actions caused the three Chen brothers to look at each other. They couldn't see through what Wang Lin was thinking and couldn't help but quiet down. After Master Yixing's words removed the fog in his mind, Wang Lin's thoughts were incredibly clear. He thought back to Bai Wei's demeanor and seemed to grasp some of the situation. There was a white tree someone planted in the back mountain, and it was claimed it would never flower, but it flowered. However, the color of the flowers weren't white but black. They only lasted 3 breaths of time before they all turned to dust. It surprised quite a few people that time. I was there as well. I thought it would have been great if I could have saved a flower. There was a hidden meaning behind his words. That white tree was referring to Bai Wei himself. The white tree being unable to flower means he was originally a man, yet he became a woman. Then he said the white flowers unexpectedly flowered, but instead of the flowers being white, they were black. This is even more obvious. He is telling me that due to some reason, the black and white reversed and he went from male to female. The flower only being alive for 3 breaths of time means he didn't have much time to leave. He told me all of this so I could save him. This was why his reaction was so exaggerated when I asked him his cultivation method. It was to increase my doubt and ponder his words. This was also why he told me it was the celestial double desire method. The strange mark formed by the yin energy flow normally doesn't reveal itself. However, when Bai Wei said celestial double desire method, it appeared. It was Bai Wei wanting to remind me of something. Combined with what he said about the weather changing before, it means the person he was afraid of was the All-Seer. The person who caused him to become like this was likely also the All-Seer. This is the real reason he asked me to come out of Heavenly Fate sect. Wang Lin suddenly stood up, clasped his hands at the 3 Chen brothers, and said, 3 fellow cultivators, I have an important matter to deal with, so I won't disturb you all any longer. After Wang Lin spoke, he grabbed Shu Ligua and threw him into his bag. Then, with a step, he disappeared. The 3 Chen brothers were greatly puzzled. After pondering a bit, they couldn't think of a reason. With one step, Wang Lin had already appeared outside Bai Wei's room. He didn't want to know the All-Seer's secrets, but he had to be constantly on guard. Only after understanding the All-Seer could he protect himself. As a result, Wang Lin wanted to know exactly what was going on with Bai Wei. Just as he appeared, he exclaimed and felt a faint restriction fluctuation from Bai Wei's room. It was extremely weak, and even with Wang Lin's cultivation level, he wouldn't notice it unless he was here. Something's wrong. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and his divine sense charged straight into the room. The moment his divine sense touched the weak restriction fluctuation, a powerful repelling force appeared and collided with Wang Lin's divine sense. This sound echoed and immediately caught the attention of the 3 Chen brothers. After the loud noise, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. The room he forcibly opened became clear in his eyes and there wasn't a single person inside. Bai Wei was missing. With Bai Wei's cultivation, it would be impossible for him to leave without me or the Chen brother noticing. It is also impossible for him to place such restrictions. Bai Wei must have been taken by force. The person who took Bai Wei must have a cultivation level far higher than mine and the Chen brothers. Wang Lin's expression was gloomy, but his eyes quickly narrowed. Wrong. If someone took Bai Wei, why did they place a restriction to guard the room? Wang Lin silently pondered and then revealed a sneer. Wang Lin's body flickered and immediately disappeared. When he reappeared, he was in the sky. At this moment, the world was shrouded in rain, lightning flashed inside the clouds, and thunder echoed across the planet. Wang Lin's divine sense spread out and swept the area, but he didn't find any sign of Bai Wei. Wang Lin knew it wasn't that Bai Wei had left the area but was hidden well enough to avoid his divine sense. His right hand formed a seal and he pointed up at the sky and said, "Summon the rain." As he waved his finger, lightning flashed across the sky and lit up the earth. All the rain around Wang Lin seemed to solidify in the air and stop descending. Shortly after, an invisible force seemed to come out from Wang Lin's finger. In an instant, all the rain within tens of thousands of kilometers was enveloped in this force and stopped. Even the new rain formed by the clouds in the sky no longer fell. The other raindrops all froze in various positions in the air. Even if they were just 1 inch above the ground, they were still motionless. Every raindrop contained a strange force. Endless origin energy instantly gathered and entered very raindrop. At this moment, the world lit up, and the surge of origin energy shocked all the powerful cultivators in Ghost Eye City. The 3 Chen brothers looked up at the sky in shock. Master Yi Chen gasped and muttered, "This kind of spell is something only Nirvana cleanser cultivators can use." Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he waved his hand. A loud rumble came from all the raindrops that froze, and they gathered around Wang Lin. In the blink of an eye, they formed a huge vortex. The rumble of the storm echoed across the sky. Wang Lin's divine sense spread out and entered the vortex. Then both of his hands formed a seal and pointed at the ground. The storm smashed down and the countless raindrops spread everywhere. The raindrops split into countless more raindrops, and all of them contained Wang Lin's divine sense. It was as if Wang Lin's divine sense had split into countless avatars. Every single avatar spread out their own divine sense, and although it didn't increase the range of Wang Lin's divine sense, it made his search much more refined. As his divine sense swept the area, Wang Lin's eyes lit up and landed on a valley thousands of kilometers away from Ghost Eye City. He took a step, creating a loud rumble. Wang Lin turned into a bolt of lightning and charged toward the valley thousands of kilometers away. This distance only took him a blink of an eye to cross. There was a restriction in the valley, but this restriction gave off no fluctuations. If it wasn't for the fact that he had used the rain to enhance his divine sense, he would have never found anything abnormal. When he arrived, the restriction opened a sliver without Wang Lin doing anything. Then a vigorous voice came out. "Please enter, Brother Wang." "Bai Wei." Wang Lin's expression was calm, but his heart was in shock. This voice indeed belonged to Bai Wei. However, Bai Wei's voice before was feminine, making it difficult to tell if it was male or female. However, at this moment his voice was filled with vigor and was obvious it was a male's voice. Wang Lin frowned as he stepped into the restriction crack and entered the valley. This valley was isolated from the rain, so no rain entered. The valley was filled with flowers and plants, but everything had long since been dead. A large amount of yin energy was gathered here. There was a person sitting in the valley. This person was Bai Wei. However, this aura was very different from Wang Lin's memories. Bai Wei's face was calm and the feminine aura he had was now gone. Instead, it was replaced with a sense of determination. His eyes were like lightning, and a stern aura surrounded his body. The current him no longer had the look of a woman. No matter how you looked at it, he was a handsome man. Bai Wei pondered for a bit and then slowly said, "Brother Wang, are you surprised?" This video will end here.